amazing. And yeah, I'm keen to hear about how it went at NFTLA and what the future holds.
Yeah. Just before I go back, I want to talk one question, because you mentioned, the ape, right? The ape. The thing that people need to understand about that is it's not so much the JPEG in that, it's really the rights, roles, and permissions you have to that asset. And if you look at Bored Apes, it's a perfect example of showing how NFTs can build brands. If you look at the whole ecosystem around the Bored Apes, there's Bored Water, Bored Hotels, Bored, shoes, jackets. There's 4 ape guys I know that signed a deal. I think it was with CAA, and they're doing a cartoon show. So if you think of the Bored Ape infrastructure and what Bored Ape community has done, I mean, think about it. It's the only business that I've known that's gone from zero to what was it, a $2 billion or $4 billion company in less than 2 years, right? It's crazy. Yeah. And the reason is this is a distributed brand. So I wanted the listeners to understand what happens is, imagine you got 10,000 people buying into this brand. You own this ape, and then you can do things with it. You can build businesses on top of it. So it's, if you imagine Nike was to do the swoosh, and they did 10,000 of those swooshes, a red one, a blue one, a green one, ones with diamond stars, stripes, all that kind of stuff. And then you had the right to build a brand on top of that. So it's a decentralized brand with a whole community of 10,000 people building on top of it. It's one of the powers of NFTs. Yeah. So, and
I mean, you've kind of covered it so well there. And I was trying to explain this to people recently, because I know a number of people who have CryptoPunks and Bored Apes. And aside from what you've talked about is building the brand, even just having one of these things is like, it's the new age flex. I mean, you could have a Rolex or you can have a Ferrari, but how many people are actually going to see that? If you have a punk and it's, on your Twitter, then, people know that you're of that level, and it opens doors. I know people that have closed deals. They've got in to talk to people that they would never have ever been able to connect with. Yeah. And then you get invited to parties, my friend was on this yacht, hanging out with celebrities. And that is the ticket to this sort of world that people don't understand. They go, you must be nuts paying, couple of $100,000 for a JPEG that I can just email. But that's the misconception.
Well, it's access.
Then on top of that, what you say is this building of a brand. We've got a very, very interesting future ahead with these sort of things.
It's access. And if you think about it too, what's interesting about NFTs is businesses, think about it on a global basis, right? There's people all around the world that don't have access to physical things, and now they have digital assets that can have value. Yeah. I think it helps bring people out of poverty. I mean, there's so many things, the power of what this is, as long as we can keep it decentralized, right? I mean, we also have to talk about the downside of all of this stuff, because there is a downside. And again, bad actors can get involved. And, when you think about NFTs, there's you can gamify them. There's things you can do. So there's ways you can control people and things through using like the Hooked model. I don't know if anybody's ever read Hooked. I recommend this to everybody. It's critical. It's a book called Hooked: How to Create Habit Forming Products. And when you see the Hooked model, it's basically a set of user behaviors that they know work over and over again. And when you do that, you can basically hook somebody into doing things. So that's fine, as long as the things you want them to do is on the up and up and actually good for society and positive, but it also can get in the wrong hands where people then can control things. So there's a lot of things that we need to be aware of with this. But on the upside, there is so many powerful things that can be done with this on a global basis to help people and build businesses. And, the idea of scarcity and creating something that's new and unique is, again, it's the story. Why do NFTs sell? Why are they important? It's because the story that is around that asset, the story and the utility that you can build around that. And finally, a digital asset can be just as verified as a physical item that you own. So it really changes the game in a really big way.
Absolutely. And also the community aspect, which is, one of the biggest ones for NFTs. You see, these people really having so much value of being part of something. And, they get onto Discord and they say GM every day, and they're making these friends. And, then they're taking these friends from online into offline. I think what your project is doing is providing the sort of infrastructure around that community as well, and I'm very excited about where this is going. So